corn flakes. Corn flakes. It's called the number of the beef. From Toledo. Picked it up at somewhere around here.
When I was a little boy, I hoped I grew up and marry my mother. So I just talked with my mom about it, and she talked with me about it. And that was good. You should do that for you now. Once you drop them papers, I'm gonna make you squeal like a pig.
Wow. This one's called Uncle Daddy. Wow. Uncle Daddy. So I got these, it's pretty much like 45, 46 listings, whatever it was. I mean, I counted these. This is one listing. There's 6 of these blues down here. And one of them is like $30. The others are 10 to 12. And I stopped by a yard sale in Strongsville. So if you know of the area, if you're going north down 82 and you come right over the crest, right where I think it's Burger King, forget the name of the road, Boston Road, and you're going to be entering into Strongsville and dips down a hill. And you can see straight, like, I don't think you can see the lake from there, but the Strongsville is quite a ways away from that. But coming down the hill, and then right at the bottom of the hill on the right hand side was a yard sale. And of course, I was on the inside lane, so I could turn left into the Goodwill a couple more blocks down. So I turned into a business and just went right across the street to the yard sale. So I got this Invicta. It's not working. Put a battery in it. Heavy. Actually, I haven't put it on my wrist yet. That's how the size of my wrist. Well, I paid $25. Get a battery, get it running. They've sold. It's Invicta Tritnite. I can see the model number right in magnifying glass. They're like $100 used. I got these Blue's Clues down here. So that's what this is going to be, is me going over the stuff that I got, kind of on how I used to do the videos, and I would be doing one like how I would make a video and edit it, except a Windows update, whatever it is, I have it bookmarked somewhere. Windows Update decided to say that, hey, this XYZ component on your motherboard is not getting enough power, so we're just going to go in a boot loop. Oh, we're going to repair it. No, it's not repaired. Restart. We're going to repair it. It just does this boot loop. So I have a couple flash drives that I actually just found in the trash. Really can't see it. And right here, I've got 3 bins full of those things. And some other stuff I went and got, not yesterday, the day before, filled up the Fiesta as much as I could, what I felt safe doing, and then I went back yesterday, my daughter and her boyfriend, and we went in the dumpster, got the rest of everything else. All right. Not that I'm expecting many people to pop in right now. Well, at least bring this up. One person watching. It's me. Okay. I got Scream 2. So actually, I just sent an offer out on that Scream, the first one I had, but I think it's a Drew Barrymore cover. It's in one of these, wherever it's at. I think it's in this one, actually. No. Maybe one of the drawers. But that Scream with the Drew Barrymore, I think it has a couple of the inserts and stuff. It's like, I got it up for $75. I'll get a little more for it sometime, or a little less for it sometime, but $1 VHS. So let's see what this is. Scream to VHS. Not sealed. Well. And since there's a new Scream, I want to say there's a new Scream coming out. Yeah, these are only like $12-15. Might put the 2 together. Oh, it's next blockbuster though. All right. So these, I just grabbed these 6. This is all the physical media he had. About $10, maybe a little more. And this one's about 20. Blues Discoveries. A little over 20. Uh, 10-inch, 11, 12. Same thing about 10. Same thing about 10. So I probably have a couple others. Blue Clues VHS. Less than 10. So I will lot some Blue's Clues VHS together, since I could try to get the $10-12 for each of them. Maybe the Discoveries keep individual. No, because it's got that, well, man, the torn tops. I'll put like an 8 or 10 Blue's Clues VHS, and easily get $100. So these those are done. So for anyone here, I have a Relic Hunter. I know it's backwards. With the Tia Carrera. So I scanned a couple. Which one was it? I scanned a couple of them. Just grabbed it and scanned it, and then nothing was coming up on the scan for it. Let's put this the right way. One, two. Relic Hunter. So I type in Relic Hunter. Relic Hunter. DVD. 46. Season 1 and 2. Disc 2 only. So individually, some are listed for about 15 bucks. 20 bucks. So there I was paying, I pay $1 each. 39. Lowest is $11. Season 1 and 2. Well, it's best of. So if I type in minus best, complete third. So I don't know which season this is. I mean, I have to look at the year and look it up. Trying to match some of these artworks. I don't know if it's season 2. But Relic Hunter, they're going up. New other 1, 2, 3, 17 disc is 200 bucks. So I'm going to suspect it's a season 1999 to 2000. 1999 would be the first one right here. Let's go. So season 1, that's 5. Unless there's another disc in one of those, 45 bucks. I don't know if there be. I don't know. I gotta look it up. So 50 bucks maybe. I mean, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that. But all right. Oh yeah, this I need to get. I have extra doors right here. I actually have. I believe I have one that I could fit all 4 of these in. These are good enough condition. Power Rangers, Dino Charge. These are well, it's 25, and then it goes to over 30. 17 listings. 35, 40 bucks. It's Power Rangers. I don't have to check to see if it sells. It's one of those franchise things that you don't have to check on because it's a franchise thing, and most likely this bigger franchise it will sell. If you're listed for that. The Elvis, okay, this one I gotta look at individually. This is the Elvis Cocopelli archives. So when I looked this up, Cocopelli, it was the first thing I looked up because it's very specific. I didn't see anything. I mean, there are other things for like Cocopelli, like a place. So this is greetings from Elvis Cocopelli, Polter Zeitgeist at Graceland Southwest, Rest Area 51 on the Highway of Life at Sedona, Arizona. Elvis Cocopelli is a president for life, cellar master of the Southwestern Adventures and Gourmet Society. Elvis is a duly deputized Vortex Ranger, a metaphysical marshal, chief of the Dream Police of the Medicine Wheel of Fortune. So it sounds like an impersonator. I didn't find anything really on it, but for an Elvis fan or an Elvis impersonator fan, I paid. I remember where I got that. I want to say $1, and no, either way, it's still something that's interesting enough that someone, I could sell it for $20. Gordon Lightfoot, the Edmund Fitzgerald. Oh, yeah, it's Don Quixote. The wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald. It's about $15. Yoga therapy for back pain. I know it's backwards. This is new. There's 5 listed. Brand new goes to 25. A lot of these back pain and back exercises and chair exercises. So they sell used. As lowest was $12, $13. So I'm sure I can get, ask that 20 for it. Person of interest. So not really one that I look up a whole lot. But some of these series, some of this series can do quite well. That's about $20. I paid $1. Royal Hearts, Royal Matchmaker, Once Upon a Prince. Hallmark. Hallmark Lifetime, a lot of their stuff is pretty good. So there's 33 listed and 17 are new. 13 to $15. Pay $1. Kwong. Type of exercise. There's 8 listed. It's going to solds. 5. Brand new is about $18. Paid $1. This is another one. This is the Cane Masters. Instructional video series. Cane Masters. So the canes are $130. I sold a cane one time. Many years ago. 200, I forget exactly. It was like $207. Not something I would do again. So let's go into, see if it's in DVD. There is one in DVD. So it's not mastering, but the lowest ones are $20. Cane kata. So kata, like a form, martial arts form. So I'm not seeing any of that specific one, the cane. Well, let's just say that pre-owned DVDs of this Cane Masters is like $30. Not a whole lot, really. I don't know what Jason Upton is. There was a lot of this Jason Upton for CDs wise at one of the stores. I'll look some of them up. This one is sealed. One's listed for $10 as sealed. Maybe that's the one I didn't want to get. I mean, yeah. So I mean, it'll be like $10, $12. 3 sell. Okay. It's Schoolhouse Rocks. Well, soundtrack. It's Better Than Ezra, Bismarcky, Blind Melon. I can't read that one. Chavez, Deluxe Folk Implosion. Goodness. Daniel Johnston, Man or Astro Man. Moby, Pavement, Skilo, The Lemonheads, Ween. Been $1. No barcode. Which is just, well, it's BMG, but no barcode, so safe to say I'm not gonna scan that one. 10 years. I've sold 10 years before. And we got so it goes to $25 and then to almost 40 for this CD. I've sold it before. I don't use barcode when I list, so chances are mine's not going to come up here. So 15. So about $20 is the highest of the most recent solds. I'll have to look on Terapeak, kind of see what they go for. $20. Brooks and Dunn. Mm-hmm. It's the wrong one. I should have done that for that artist. I don't buy a lot of country, but when these things are sealed, I mean, see right here, it's $4 open, 15 sealed. Vertical hold, don't know. About $15. Brand new is 30. Brand new is 45. Doc Martens Capitol Records music sampler. Now, so this has, it's difficult for me to read that red on there, but this has Foo Fighters, Supergrass, Ben Lee, Plastina, Whoosh, Thousand Claws, Defoe, or Dancehall. I can't read that one. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Friend something. Some of those can sell pretty well. Little compilation ones like that. Wherever I got it at, I don't remember. But it's sealed. Not quite sure if that's supposed to be Lisa Loeb or not, because it really doesn't really look like her. All right. Drama Rama. Cinema Verity. 1985. So when I'm looking at CDs and I can see it's like, oh, it's a 80s, 70s or an 80s, somewhere, I mean, obviously not a 1970s CD, but something from the 70s. Like the picture on the CD looks like it's some, an old time, because if someone died in 1979, there's no new pictures of them. But this, $40. And it goes up to 31. I'll have to see if they sell for that $40. Distant Thunder. This is one I got at Savers yesterday on the way back from going out to Berea, Middleburg. My nephew graduated from Baldwin Wallace. So I went there, and we stopped at the Savers like 10 minutes down the road. Distant. So I just picked it up because it looked cool. I mean, usually I wouldn't pay $3 for a CD for resale wise. 129. Well, that doesn't help. So what if I type in self? That's still not even it. So I'll go to select all, copy, come down here. Hey, back to your non-vicarious name. I mean, I guess it really wouldn't be vicarious if both of them are you. But hello. Distant Thunder self. CDs. Give me something. Distant Thunder, ST, CD, OR, Melodoc, Rock, Indie. So if this is it, I mean, the band is called Distant Thunder, and the A on this right here, and the A right there is about the same. And if that's the case, that's, and it sold recently through Terapeak, $71. And 16 for shipping. I didn't look that one up. I just thought it was kind of cool looking. The Day Upon, I welcome the end, Soulless Inventions, Hopeless Creature, Fire in the Skies, Distant Thunder, Beyond the Black Field of Stars, Lost in Time, Finding My Way, Run with the Pack, Restless and Wild. Produced by Jack Frost in 2004. Massacre Records, so I really don't think that that's Christian. But that's really cool artwork. Quite curious. You have a couple more personalities don't know about. Another Keith and Christy Getty. I may have this one, so it'll just be a multiple. It didn't come up on scan, but a lot of their stuff does sell. I mean, I didn't really sell a lot of the Getty stuff before, and then a couple of them I started scanning. I'm like, oh, okay. David Frizzle and Shelley West. Frizzle and Friends. I sold that Frizzle and Friends, which was like Frizzle and Friends and Merle Haggard. This one I don't think is really a whole lot. $13. The Blue Wisp Big Band. Rolling with Von Olen and Live at Carmelo's. Here comes a train. So they're like $20. I think I hit sold on these. Nothing came up, but it's definitely unique enough for me to pay a couple bucks for, and just keep it listed. I'm not going to retire on it for sure, but there's only a couple listed. So there's another guy up there at the Savers in Parma. I want to say his name is Ryan. And he was over by the mute cart looking at stuff, looking at the cassettes, and he mainly buys it and collects, but some of the stuff he buys to collect and listen to, he wants to make sure that they have a value to him. So he goes on a Discogs. And he also sells on Discogs. So I was like, I don't sell on Discogs, but what I buy to sell in some, like the one playing right now, this porn flake called Porn Flakes. The Number of the Beef. Tingo, Mr. I want to say, if I remember listening right, you're UK or Wales or something. But thanks for stopping in. Sense, if you like Fallout 4 builds, people who build Fallout 4 settlements and stuff, Tango is one who does that. And I know Tango from going to Finding Motors channel. But I was talking to that guy, and so I listened to this 5 Seconds of Summer. I don't think it's in the CD player anymore. But I listened to this one a few times, and it's a cool, emo one. Except for, and these are like $45. We have one that's real low, brand new, and chances are it's not going to sell because it's a stock picture listed at $20, and everything else is $45, $50. That's going to sit there for a long time. So if I go here, there's 9. Brand new, $20. Well, maybe it will. But We go right into well over. So the couple are really fluke, lower price, and then everything else is well above that. So 40 something, 45. Well, that's two in there. 45. But this one, the other one that's 45 right there, the next one that's 47, they have this slip cover to it. So $50. Where's that? That's right here. Stonehenge. Oh, that's where you're at, right in that area. You don't really get a whole lot of inspiration for building when you're looking at what are there 22 pillars. Like I'm going to build something in Fallout theme, and I'm inspired by Stonehenge. Well, just put up a couple of pillars, and there you go. There's your Stonehenge. White Town. It's in the car. No, is this one in the car? No, I have Aha. So the Aha case is around here somewhere. So the White Town is in the car. The Aha case is in here. This is the one that has a Take Me Home. So it's funny because I was sitting there and I was in, and this is only like $5. I was in a stream a couple of days taking something apart. And wife comes in and we're just kind of talking about whichever. I was like, you know what? I haven't heard White Town. And my wife gets your woman, like the band he sings your woman. I was like, yeah. I was like, I haven't heard that in a while. I mean, who would name their band White Town? Really? And for all the years I've been selling physical media, that's the first copy I've seen. And I found it like 2 days after I mentioned it to my wife. It's like, I haven't heard or anything White Town in forever in manifesting. Oh, yeah. Right there by the co-op. Just south of that co-op. Actually, I like going to that co-op with so I'm a fan of the explosive rounds. I mean, I haven't played Fallout in a while, especially since the Windows update crashed my main PC. But I like the explosive rounds, and if you put those like, there's a gun or whichever. But I like going right there at the co-op and getting those two raiders that are up on the bridge. Just shoot the turret. That's a good spot to be. Logically, if you want to think about it, that's a good spot to be right there. But anyone who has a long gun can get you right there. You want to be someplace where you're kind of covered, like at the Corvega. You know, you have a high enough area and you can see all the way around, something like that. If anything like that happened, yeah, the highest spot is the easiest because it takes more energy and you're easier seen as you're coming up a hill. And so it reminds me of a scene from the movie The Rock. And the SEAL team goes in and they go in the bathroom. And Ed Harris, who plays that general, whatever his name is, says that you guys are outnumbered and we are elevated. Not a good position to be in. And then just open fire on the guy. Then Ed Harris, because something happened, the one very, very antsy guy shot first and rounds were all over. But yeah, to be elevated. Lexington. Yeah, I mean, Corvega it's a big mess. I mean, the first time going in there, it's a big mess. But so this CD, no, is only like $6. It's something. Actually, it is in the car, and then it has some feel. It kind of has some later like transitioning from that late '80s into the early '90s. Still kind of has that feel. And this would have been 1997. But the track number 8 is called "The Function of the Orgasm." All right. So that needs to be separated. So yeah, you may Tango. I mean, you may hear me or not hear me, see me when I go in. It's usually I'll drop a quote from a movie or a quote from a song or something, and it's just from listening to different things. I just kind of stick with the tune, stick with my name of what I do. Go out and get media, and this is it. So I don't know how geographically knowledgeable you are of the Cleveland area. So I am east of Cleveland by a little bit, Cleveland, Ohio. So I can name the cities, and it's not going to be really too much for you, but I'll go. Heck, we'll even do it kilometers wise. I'll go maybe 70 kilometers east, west, and south, roughly. 70 mileage wise, it's going to be like 30 to 40 miles. 40 miles, 70 kilometers. That's about right. And then where I'm at over here in Cleveland, so basically we go down this way, how the lake is, I'm going to be like right about here, coming up on this side. So I'll go all the way over to the state line over here and down to like Akron down to here and all the way over to Avon. And I'll just go to the different thrift stores. There's probably like 40 thrift stores. I'll just get my phone, scan, and buy stuff. So this Avril, the best damn thing. $20. And only one comes up on scan. Actually, I got this in the estate sale when I was leaving to go to the thrift stores the other day. I see a sign for a estate sale. And I only had was one disc back here. And then I'm looking through their little stack of disc only. And I find the other one. So if I only had the one, I want to have got it for $1 or $2. Oh, yeah, it's like people in the U.S. forget how big Russia is. It's like Russia, yeah, man. I hiked across. No, you didn't hike across Russia. You'd still be hiking. That place is insanely large. 11 time zones, 10 time zones. So if you're that area of UK in comparison, so if we keep this as United States, UK is probably like this. If this whole bird, what you can see where my hand ends right here, and there's even another 5-6 more inches to the left. If we say that this is the US, that's like probably UK, and I want to say it's going to be backwards for you for looking at this, but I want to say it bows out a little to the left, it comes in, so it's like a batter Italy. But if I know that if that's the UK I'm thinking of, oh no, UK is the one that's on the top left from all of that Euro area, or is that way up? I know here, I know where I live. I've never been across seas like that. So, but either way, yeah, US is it is a big area, and if you really think, it's like if you like, oh man, these people they went out to the Grand Canyon. I'm like, oh man, it's only XYZ miles. How couldn't they not find their way out? It's a big hot area. A couple miles while you're trying to climb out of something, it's a big area. I've never been to Grand Canyon, but I mean, if I wanted to walk to downtown, I could drive. It's straight up in downtown, straight to the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Guardians Rock Hall of Fame, which is just on the other side of town, going north toward the lake. You could see the baseball field as you're driving down the highway. But I can get straight up to downtown from 20 minutes if I don't get any lights getting to the highway, which the highway is only like three turns going down that way. A quarter of a kilometer maybe to go to the first highway, and then 1.5 kilometer maybe to get to the next highway that way. But I can drive to downtown in 20 minutes. To walk it, that is easy. All right. So Streisand and Christopherson, $16. I've never played that. The Fallout London. Well, actually, I tried to install it when it first came out, and it had like a conflict or something. And I guess they patched it, but I just never got to that. Gaga, the Fame, $15. So you are pound sterling then. So that's like 12 pounds sterling. Oh yeah, Chili Peppers is in here now. So I pay for something like this. I would pay less than a pound for doing that ratio there or that conversion. So I would pay less than a pound for a lot of these, which is going to be a buck, a dollar, a little more US, and then it's going to sell for 12 to 15 times more of what I paid, roughly, just so I don't have to keep guessing these conversions. All right, it's Gettysburg. This soundtrack, I might still have one. If not, it already sold, and these are like 40 bucks. I mean, a pound sterling is, I don't know exactly because it changes all the time. I want to say, let's just say it's 9/10 of a dollar. So if this was $40, it'd be like 35 pounds sterling. Legend of Bagger feels light. Okay, good, it's in there. Legend of Bagger Vance soundtrack. So I'll talk about a lot of soundtracks. And some of them will just completely surprise you. Like this. $30 pound sterling would be 28 bucks at a minimum. 28 sterling at a minimum. 4 listed, brand new is 90. On scan for a movie that's been around for a long time. 6 is sold. 9, 12, 20, 20. New other. So let's see if I can new other this. So the Kate, so it still has a little bit of the sticker right here. That's not going to matter for me. The sticker that holds the CD. So this will not be new other. It has a couple scratches right there, but it's still $30. 25 to 30 pounds sterling. I don't do a lot of religious. United is religious. Here, now you guys can actually read that. Because on the back, it's backwards. You can't read it? Well, you can if it's backwards. Put a mirror to your monitor, but you can read that one. So these are only like $11. If you go into new, there's one new, it's 22 bucks. And I've sold United stuff. Now, this is Hillsong. Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, amongst other things. Sealed. So brand new is 15. I'm going to go with brand 15. It's going to be a franchise, something, he's not like a run-of-the-mill artist who just puts CDs out the wazoo and there's going to be billions of them. This is very, very special, something that he did. Arranged and conducted by Joel McNeely. Rosalind Kind. So this is what I'm talking about. The picture and her attire, her clothes, look like it's she's older or an artist from when ago. 2004 is when this was made. Contains previously released material. All of it would be previously released. Capitol Records. Neil Diamond. Aw, shucks. One that I grab and is probably worth a bit, and then I don't bother looking inside. I do that every once in a while. But this is like $20, but this actually has... So I could list that replacement case. Doubt it. No, none is sold, so it's not a replacement case. Neil Diamond, Melody. Let's see if Melody Road, nada. That's a BB gun target, but I don't have the BB gun. But if I wanted to, I can go down to the Christmas Story house down here in Steel Yard, down in Cleveland. I mean, I doubt the BB... Well, the BB gun is probably there with the leg lamp and all that. That's down the road from here. We're actually coming back the other day, and I was going to stop there. I said that I was going to stop there plenty of times, but I have yet. The Collinsworth. This is Collinsworth Family presents Brooklyn and Courtney. 5 results. So if there's 5 results I come up on a scan like that, I'm not going to narrow it down to new or anything like that. I just, for this, for that, I just want to see if any have sold. 2 have sold, pre-owned for less than $10 out in seal, so it could be like $15. 12 sterling. Do you guys say pound sterling if you're still here? Do you guys say pound sterling? Like you're going somewhere and you're buying tires. TYRE for you. You're buying tires and someone says, yeah, $69 pound sterling. Or do they just say pounds? This is Slack Key Guitar, the artistry of Jeff Peterson. $18. One is sold pre-owned for $30. So there's a handful that are listed for less than that, but one has sold for $30. I'll pay $1 for it. Quid. Quid is like us saying bucks, and the phrase a buck in meaning for money came from back in frontier days when someone would go out and get a kill of whatever it may be, a rodent, a rabbit, a fox, whichever, and they would just trade the fur for other things for a buck. And it was just one of those weird terms, and people think that it came from deer, which, I mean, there are buck deer. So this right here, there's 5 listed, and even one with a picture of a book. Brand new is $100. 80 quid. Yeah, I've heard people say quid in videos before. I was like, is that like a sixpence or whichever? So it's $30. I mean, watch enough videos, and you can kind of pick up on the stuff, but I've never watched anybody go into a McDonald's and order a quarter pounder with cheese Royale and say, yeah, that's 11 quid. Never heard that. I mean, I've never seen a video, but I mean, you probably have, because that's the video content that you're fed. Oh, it's evening for you now. We back up. No, it's early morning then. Evening. No, afternoon. Let's see. If we're here, you're across the Atlantic, you're over there, you're probably 5 time zones, so 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe. That's only like $10. Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. Took me a minute. Sunday. So there's a primary of what I do, and I mean, you don't see me in when it was cold, I was in Mulder's channel a lot. I watched his castle build. I'm just kind of watching it, and this is, I don't know, October maybe. And so he goes inside one of the little turret sections, and he has it set up like a dance hall. And I picked up because he had it like Enchantment Under the Sea, and I write a comment. I was like, "Is that Enchantment Under the Sea like reference to Back to the Future?" He goes, "Yeah." And then when he responded, I see the name Finding Mulder. I'm like, hold on, Finding Mulder, does that happen to be something in reference to the Fox Mulder trying to find his sister Sam? He goes, "Yep, you got that one pinpoint exactly." So I don't know if he does often, but he's like, "Yeah, MediaMan, he was one of those people who caught my motif real early." Well, I don't know how early he really started his YouTube. And I watched a couple of his other videos, and he's a calm talker, right? Every once in a while, you guys will write something that he just loses like laughing control over, and sometimes that chat still stays fairly neutral, but it can go into interesting things, and he holds the ground with the people there. So Hollywood Babylon. So when was the last time you ever saw Marilyn Monroe's those? So I picked this one up, and there's another Hollywood book. So I still may have this one, or it already sold, and there's a whole other Angers. That's not right. People are paperback. No, that's not a paperback. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a builder. I mean, I would slap like a cot, maybe one of the longer prefabs that have a little diagonal kind of cut awning ends, slap some walls on it, and just put beds and enclosures, and maybe make like a little vendor area. And if I can't place it, I'm not going to do all the hand, because I do everything on a keyboard, just keyboard with a little mouse, keyboard on the mouse. It's for a Dell XPS all-in-one PC from like 20 something years ago. I just showed the actual like the USB dongle the other day. You had to take that out of that, and then my old neighbor where I lived at in Kent, Ohio, south of here. So I got that keyboard. So as a so I don't have the scroll or the side click movement or anything like that. So I never really like hand placed anything. So I just never really got into it. But the imagination of the stuff, and then all the other little things that I've watched and some of the other channels. I mean, I think I just subbed to yours. I mean, a while ago. Okay, so we're back to this. So maybe this one was like 40, 50 bucks. And the other Hollywood something was like $100. But I believe this is a first. It's a book club edition. $1975, yeah. So I mean, I paid $2 for the book. It's a $50 book. Well, I'll support. I just saw. So I'm not subscribed to Wilma's. It's the same thing, Tango. I just got the little thing from Wilma, and I've never been to her channel. And I see that. Thank you for the 1,000 subs. And I see you wrote something down in the bottom on that. And so I hit like, and I think I subbed to it. I think I did. You know, but I seen her in that channel. And I was like, I think that YouTube just kind of suggests. No, I just wrote that in the comment. I think YouTube just suggests, like, oh, look, other people who channels you follow, that kind of stuff. John and Mary. So it's a movie tie-in. Fox movie. So a lot of movie tie-in books with like the actual cover. I have another one that's around here. Don't have it listed yet. Good thing I put my books that need listed. But I just got another book that the cover art is of the movie tie-in. Let me see if it should be right around here. Oh, there it is. Oh. So this is Sliver by Ian Levin, Ira Levin. I was saying Ian, like Ian Fleming from. Well, if you're from that area, then you should be familiar with Ian Fleming, what he writes. But this, so it's only like a $12, $15 book. But there's only a couple listings that have this cover. There's probably 300 listings of the book, but only a couple with this cover. Oh. Well, then you should be familiar with famous people that share your name as well. Ian Fleming. All right. The Goddess Book of Days. Tatas. Is this one the one that's signed? No, but it has some scribbling in it. Ian Fleming wrote James Bond. The light's just dim, like the air conditioner turned on, but it shouldn't be on. It's not going to be hot today. And thermostat shows that it's 68 degrees in here, and I have the air conditioner. Oh, great. 68, probably 20C, probably. And then I have it set to 74, which is 22C. But with it being, well, it's a brand new HVAC, whole new HVAC system that it died during that. Motor was building in '88 when he was building that bus or the container ship for like the master bedroom or something. But our heat when our furnace went out during that time. Oh no, he was at the one by Merkwater, building at Merkwater, making that rope bridge. I was like, oh yeah, our furnace went out, and this is the time when it was -10 outside. Right, so they give us 3 electric heaters, or 2. Didn't give, we used 2 electric heaters. Anyhow, Goddess Book of Days. Goddess Days. Stein. I just sold a Hitchcock book, 3 Investigators. And I don't remember where it was, but he was people were talking about like Goosebumps and other like kids book series, and he said there's like he used to read the 3 Investigators like crazy, and so I had a paperback and a couple of hardcover ones. So I just sent him a paperback and a hardcover of like the least priced ones that were like $20 that I've had for months and months and months and months. So I asked for his address, like, hey, I have something I'm going to send you, and he didn't know what it was. And I opened up, and then like a couple days later, I was like, hey, I'll do like a present. He's like, I fucking love them. Thanks, man. You're so astute, or whatever he said. And if you lived in the U.S. and if you're in any sort of this media that I have, I would have been like, oh yeah, man, there's this. You can have this CD, but I'm not paying $16 to ship something to somebody that they're not paying for. So only one has sold for $20. And I just deleted it. Goddess. Yeah, that was a not to say that winters can't get harsh. If they are harsh, they don't last long, 3-4 days. You can get to other places, Chicago, Wisconsin, the inner parts like the boroughs in New York. A lot of those places, like those winters, can stay harsh, or we can just go right back to that really, really big country. But that was cold, so at a certain temperature, it just doesn't snow. It's just freezing cold. That's when you just lock your windows, lock your doors, make sure everything's shut, turn your heat on, and do everything you can with whoever you can, but just don't make babies. Babies are expensive. $40. So a book I would have paid $1 for. My back is burning from being in that dumpster right around the corner. So in like Sean's channel, I won't go into Sean's channel and say it's like, I mean, I'll write every once in a while, like, oh yeah, I just got a whole bunch of scrap, and I'm not gonna go over and over and over about that. But there's an ultrasound, like a talking about making baby, an ultrasound company that does repairs, and they're right around the corner, right by the post office. And the post office is, take a right. Well, I got to get to the main road, but the post office is half a mile, a third of a kilometer around from here. Yeah, maybe a half, maybe a little over. But you could turn left and try to get onto another street where you have to go left, and at 4:30, that doesn't make sense because you're going to get jammed up with traffic. So I took a right, and I went to the first business there, and it was an ultrasound repair company. I looked at the dumpster, and they had these big CRT monitors. Not like a CRT like you plug for a playing video games and stuff, but a CRT monitor that would go in one of those big wheelie carts that had an ultrasound machine on it. So I got one, and then I was like, all right, well, this is worthwhile for me to take apart. So I took it apart, and it was like $12, $15 in scrap, 10, 12 pound. So the actual weight of it was maybe 30 kilo. 30 kilos is going to be quite heavy for that. Is maybe a little less. So they were like 50, 60 pounds. They're heavy. I mean, and they were like, oof. But it turned out to be like 12 pounds in scrap wise. And the circuit boards, all of them are great circuit boards. There's one that I took apart that has nice little tantalum capacitors on it. But anyhow, so I went back the other day and I talked to them. They're like, yeah, man, if it's in there, help yourself. So I went there. You can't see it. It's a thumbnail to a live, I think I did a couple days ago. I probably have 30 flat screen monitors I have to take apart. So most of those are going to be aluminum frames on the inside as opposed to like steel or plastic, which is 9 cents a pound. If steel is on the plastic or plastic is on the steel. If you're tossing in just plastic and you have a bunch of steel all mixed in, cool. But if you're just sending in 40 pounds of plastic, no, they're not going to want you back there. But the interior frame of most of these flat screens is aluminum. I'll grab one. So that's one torn apart. And then the whole back side is all aluminum. And the inner parts of the frame that held everything else in is aluminum. And when this specific one was said and done, it was like 6 pounds. 2.5 kilo. In between this and all the other leftovers. And then the circuit boards. And the circuit boards, I've only got a handful of more books. That's why I'm kind of still yammering on. And there's 6 here. Sometimes I'll do this and I'll go over and there's like one person that'll lurk. But if people are here chatting, and I'll stick around. I don't get paid to do this. I'm helping people out. So this is one circuit board. So these kind of greenish colored things, yellow, or that's what's called tantalum. It's tantalum capacitor. These are $9 a pound. These IC chips, which are going to vary on all whichever. These IC chips are $16 a pound. So you cut them out with a razor. You just collect them. Same thing with these tantalums. And we can see this entire backing is aluminum. And then the frame that was around this was aluminum. And then this one inside of that other frame that I just had. So you would leave all of this on here, like these ICs right here, cut all these off. But you can leave all this, and even this right here, that's aluminum. Looks steel, but it's aluminum. And then I don't know if there's any underneath, but you can just sell this just right there, and this is going to be a mid-grade peripheral board, which is like $3.35 a pound. So a pound. So we'll just do the math easy, right? So a half a kilo is going to be $2.50 pound sterling, right? So then these are going to be about 13 sterling. These IC chips. 6 sterling, since about half that, right? Because of the pound and the ratio. So they're good money to just take these boards out, cut these little pieces out, collect them, and then just sell the rest. And this right here, I don't know what's under this. There was a spring on it. I can see a spring in here. And these little Allen connectors. So I'll see if there's any ICs underneath this, but that's aluminum as well. This is just another board, so I would cut off that little IC, these little tantalums. That IC, these real small ones, you don't. You just keep those ones on there. Cut that one, that one, that one. So I mean, the amount of weight that it is. Comes one of my cats. Now I show my cats off every once in a while here. But this is just one board of. I have a whole other bin that I've completely gone through. That's about 50 pounds, 20 kilo of board. None of them look like this, but they all have aluminum on them, and a lot of them with like copper transformers and stuff. But those I'm going to keep on there because see, I could tear that off, lose that entire weight, and then you're going to have the plastic and the ferrite that's on it that you took off from that, and you can't put it back on. But if it's like this, they'll stay on there. But if it's the bigger one, and especially if it's exposed copper, you just clip one and you just unwind it while that entire base is still there, and you take out what copper you can. But that's what a lot of my live videos are about, and that is what I'll be doing after this in quite a few hours. I'll put the camera and get this whole mount and go right there in the dining room, and I have plenty of flat screens, plenty of stuff that needs to be. I took a bunch of little stuff apart last night, but I can stay focused when I have like 20 of one exact thing. I can stay focused on that, and just that way, those are done. They're out of the way. And I put these tubs in the back of my Ford Escape, fill that up with 400, 500, 600 pounds of just steel and loose stuff. Take the aluminum or wire or whatever other more valuable stuff I can put in there, and I go 10 minutes down the road. Thank goodness there's not like any conversions in between US and UK in time. We're like, oh yeah, well, I guess there can be if you're going by the micro times, but it's 10 minutes down the road. And for a vehicle that gets, so gasoline is just over $4 a gallon. So don't you guys buy by the liter when you fill up your charge, and you buy by the liter? Probably because all your cars only have 8-gallon tanks. And then stuff like this right here. So there's a generator installer right around the corner from me as well, behind the post office, but complete different roads. Solid copper. I actually had to use this last night. But I keep our window open if all of our cats aren't in, keep it open just a little bit so they can squeeze in. But there's this runt, injured raccoon that finds its way in here all the time. And it's not aggressive. I mean, they can be aggressive. And I was, this is like at midnight. I'm coming down with shorts on and bare feet. So I don't want to start making it mad and come at me. It's not aggressive by any means. But like as soon as it got caught in the hallway, my wife is here, and it's like it just turned around, went right back to the dining room area where the cat food's at, and it walked right over to like cat food and just kind of laid down by the cat food and kept looking after like, dude, this is all I want. I just want the food. So it kind of scurried back in the corner, so I had to use this kind of coax it out. But yeah, just a random. So raccoons right now shouldn't be that small. They shouldn't be able to fit through the window. This one is a runt. It got injured. It limps. It has a leg it still kind of uses, but it limps. So it's an injured raccoon. It's just like, man, I know I'm injured, and something's going to... You big bipedal human things aren't going to hurt me, right? I just want food. And I got Blue, Taste of the Wild, Merrick, really high-end cat food down here that I get at the store for like 50% off. First day of the month, they will start pricing all their cat foods and all their stuff down. So if it's 50% off or 75% off, I'll buy a $60 bag, 50-pound sterling bag of cat food. 20, the kilo is going to be like 6 kilo. I'll buy the expensive cat food for like half price, if not more. So even the critters and the strays get real good cat food. And our cats that come in and they'll eat like 3 pieces and they're gone for 10 hours. It's like, how do you survive off of 3 little pieces of cat food? because it's good food. Some more left over. All right. That was a bit of a tangent. Not really, informational. So if you ever want to get into scrapping, and if it's electronics, take it apart, your circuit boards are going to vary. Unless you have a circuit board buyer near you or it's cheap for you to ship somewhere, then that wouldn't make sense. Because you could ship it to Ohio, Alliance, just south of here, a little over an hour. But if you're shipping 40 pounds, 20 kilo, it's going to get expensive. And you're going to want to sell like the expensive stuff just so you can make your money back on that. But there's probably board buyers out there where you live. You have to look around. But I just started scrapping this year. And I watch YouTube channels, and a lot of my videos, I'll mention the channels here and there. Al. On your lunch break, yeah, no problem. So Tango, I am so YouTube famous that Al has met me 3 times. Well, he met me once, but he lives south of here. I was in a Savers up this way, and it's strange because that day I was actually going to go down to the Goodwill down where he lives by, and I was like, you know what? No, I'll just go to the Savers down here. And I'm standing there, and I'm going through the CDs and stuff, and someone looks at me, and I only know a couple people, a couple of employees there know my name, and a couple of the other more locals, the regulars there know my name, but it's a voice, the sound of the voice I didn't recognize, and I was like, yeah, and I look over at it. I didn't know the face. I'm like, yeah, because you're a YouTube channel, right? I was like, yeah. So under 1,000 subscribers at that time, it's probably way less than it is now. I'm locally famous, well, at least to Al, and I just saw him a couple days ago too at the same Savers. I know I ran into him somewhere else. I forget where, but yeah, no problem. Your lunch break Sunday. All right, so this is so Al Tango is one of the cohorts in the Fallout building community. At least what I follow. So this is like a $20 book. So paperbacks at the Salvation Army where I was at. This one would have been in Strongsville, or 50 cents. Maybe they're $1. Stephen King, Cycle of the Werewolf. An old print. It's an old Signet print. Yeah, you don't see a lot of Stephen King books that are animated, illustrated, not animated. So Al, if you like Fallout, Tango does some interesting builds. I don't watch a lot of his. I watch Finding Motor. But that's where he's from. And through a YouTube post comment chain, I told him, like, hey, I'm going to go live going over books. And then Tango stopped in. So these are only like $20, right? So if I paid $1 for it. Karate and self-defense. This one I had to narrow down quite a bit. And I'm not going to do it right now. So City of Independence. So Independence is just south of where we were yesterday in Middleburg. Little mail-in thing. Chief runs with Pauls. You know how they name their names? It's like Kevin Costner in the movie Dancing with Wolves. That's his name. Dancing. That's his Native American given name, or his name given to him by Native Americans is Dancing with Wolves, because he's out there singing Walking with the Wolves, while the Native Americans always had like this kind of adversarial type thing with wolves. They got along with wolves, but this non-Native American Kevin Costner was out dancing with the wolves. But that one was, that book. Let's just say it's $20. A lot of bread and butter stuff. Footsteps on the Sands of Time. Dunbar. Yes, John J. Dunbar. Was it John J. Dunbar? I mean, I know John J. Pershing. In the United States, he's the only 5-star general. This is like Civil War time. So I won lunch money. So every once in a while, our history teacher, Mr. Endasher, which his son is also a teacher in Solon. So not far from Independence, not far from Middleburg, Solon. A little more closer this way, and either way. So, but he used to have like these little quiz things, and but if you could stump him, if you needed anything, he'd help you out. So I stumped him one time. I was like, man, I need lunch money, and this is the time lunches were 70 cents or $1 or something, and I was like, John J. Pershing is the only 5-star general from the United States, or however I said it. Like, no, there's more. And then we went over. Steps. Sands Time. Heath. Yes. Oh, yeah. You told me I think when we were talking in one of the stores. Now you have a lot of Stephen King. All right, Footsteps, Sands Time, Heath. Nothing comes up. Right? So it's a hardcover. It's nothing like really spectacular. But if I see that they're listed for $50, 42 pounds sterling, I'm going to like, hey, okay, is there anything that'll give it some provenance? Well, this is John Bioid, I'm going to guess. But this is signed by Heath. So nothing comes up in 90-day sales. So I'll go to select all, copy. I know it's backwards. Okay, usually it would automatically drop out of that. There we go. Something else. Something else sold. You go here, Heath, $20. None of these are signed. So I could type in LS Heath, if I can find out what his actual name is. This is an autobiography by LS Heath. So being it's an autobiography, it's going to be very, very specific for that one person. And I will buy a lot of books that are signed that there's nothing really out there, but, it's a signed autobiography of someone that. So I paid $2 for something that I'll probably sell for $30. A couple more. The Lost Key to Prediction, Zoller. So this one here is that's the longest. That's the longest keyword. I'm not going to say keyword for that, right? But that's the longest keyword in the title, and that's a very, very oddball last name, Zoller, Zoller. When was the last time you heard somebody say anything that has an even letter Z in it? Somebody said zoo. Oh, got him. No. Zoller. Zoller. See, the lights just dimmed again. Prediction. So that way I'm not having to have to type in the whole title. I'll just type in keywords. So this one, that is that one. It's about $15. And then they go up to over 30. So I'm not paying $1 for it. And this is the last one. Strange Short Stories by the Doctor. The Doctor, as in Robert Picardo. Which, if you know Star Trek at all, you know that he did take on a name at the end. Joe. Strange Stories by the Doctor. Copyright Fundamental Truth Publishers. Sword in the Lord. Walter Wilson. Let's just say it's like $20. I'm not going to look that one up. So maybe it wasn't quite 2,000. I'll have to adjust that title. I don't like to be dishonest like that. From what I saw in here, I thought that Relic Hunter set was going to be like the $200, but it's not. That was a complete series or all seasons. So that changed that quite a bit. I thought that was 100. The Hollywood Babylon. Oh no, the Hollywood Babylon. I thought was a $100 book. It's not. A couple of these other ones aren't quite that high. So bread and butter, maybe $1,200, $1,300. Yeah, I'll be doing teardowns of some of these CRT ultrasound machines later on. Not too much later on, maybe a couple hours from now. I got to get some relists done and some stuff, and organize a little in here. And then Tango. Minus, you can't see it, minus books that are not in this drawer. Uh-oh. It's going to be off a bit. But minus books that are not in this drawer, so we can see this book. It's about that height. So this right here on the left-hand side, well, whichever side it's on. But these here, that's about another 12 CDs. A couple more stacks of about 15, another 8 or 9 DVDs. These are all just things that I bought before I got this stuff that just goes inside these drawers, and then I'll just sit here and be like, oh, I want to list CDs today. Then I grab 50 CDs and just get pictures of them and list them. Let me get this on how it was. I can't really see that far, but so that's how I do that. And if I want to get some listings done, I'll just grab all the new ones. I mean, I'll get new ones. I'll get the ones that are sealed. I mean, they're all going to be 2 pictures anyhow, but it's just easier because I don't have to open them up to take the CD out and all that. But that is how MediaMan, or as Sean likes to call me, Derek. I mean, that is my name. In a lot of my other videos, I will, my actual recorded videos that I go in and I later edit, like, hey, my name is Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay. I make videos about that. This is a sourced video. It depends on whatever music's playing in the background, or I'm just imagining music in my head. I'll just start bouncing around. I'm like, okay, stop the music. And that would be my video, and then I'll go on and on. Plus, he probably knows my name because of, those books I sent him. Yeah, I've there was one, I'm sub to his channel. I don't remember what the name of it is. But he's over there in the UK, and that dude has a lot of just video energy. And he always says, he goes to boot sales. That's another one of those etymology things, like, where did the term boot come from? Was it way when ago? In that part of the country, people would just store boots in the trunk, and then the word boot just kind of stuck. You would know that more than me. We just call it a trunk. Some people call it cargo. Open the cargo. Oh. But getting in and out of that dumpster, well, not really in and out, but being bent over, so I can dig underneath. My daughter's boyfriend was in the dumpster as well, so I only had limited room where I can move, and I couldn't toss stuff where I wanted to. So I bent over like this on my bottom back. I'm 6'4". 190, 196, 97, 98 centimeters. Tall. I'm tall. So we kind of crouched down in a dumpster for easily half an hour moving stuff. I can still function. I'm still breathing. I'm eating. Yeah, I don't know on where that came, where the boot came from those etymology things. Let's see here. Sending out 3 offers. Send offers. 5. Which what I'll do, I'll way off topic now. So I'll put 5 CDs in, and when this one's done, it goes back to like an 80s something. Got the case right here. Here, I'll do this just for my wife. She likes this. So this is another 3-pack CD that I picked up. I don't know where. All right, it's got 3 CDs. I paid $1 for it. So she's like, girls want more than just to have fun. I was like, what else do they want? A big fat. She goes, oh, yeah, that too. So, I mean, my videos are, a lot of them, especially lives, are demonetized because there's music. Okay, you wanna have. And I'll get demonetized. And I'm not worried about it. I don't have enough subs for the monetization. And even at that, the ones that aren't demonetized, I got probably 500 something in a year and a half making videos. And they're pretty much just like this. I prefer to be, in videos wise, I'll say it like this. So I don't find the need, nor am I compelled to want to be theatric. Like, I don't have to do all, and nothing against anyone who does that. So there was one that I follow. His name is Ramsey. The name of the channel is I Found You to Flip. And he found some storage units that are, I believe it is one of his more, is like a 45-minute. If you look at my posts, a couple, it's either the one that's still up or the one before that is a post about him. And he has a 45-minute video that talks about on how he came across the stuff that he did. And there's a lot of resellers who don't sell physical media, but they'll kind of murmur, they'll kind of go with their little soliloquies like, oh, physical media is dead. You know, shit like that. I was like, dude, no, it's not. It's far from. And I say it like this: physical media, it's everywhere, it's cheap, it's easy to work with, and it sells fast. Reminds me of your mom. It's not dead by any means. And some people, they just want to sell pots and pans. I used to sell a lot of I used to sell everything but physical media, and now I just find it to where it's everywhere. Yeah, Bonnet. That was, I think you guys were writing that in his video, in his live stream. We were going over that. And it's strange. And who is it? I don't remember if it's, I want to say it's Snicker, who's in that channel. I want to say, or Oldie Noodle. One of the two, during when it was really, really cold across basically the world, she went to go get her jumper. You know, Sean's like, what's a jumper? And so she described it in like 4 different words, and it's like a sweater. It's a sweater. And she's like, yeah, we don't call it sweater because we're not sweating or something like that. Like, makes sense. But why would you call it a jumper if they're not going to jump? Yes. It will. So here's kind of a little very, very, very minuscule facet to that. So my aunt, who lives in Brimfield, which is the town just south of Kent. So you may know of Kent State 1970 when the four students were killed by the National Guard. So I grew up in the town just south of that. I'm a Kent State alum. I have my ID in here somewhere, my Kent ID. But she's in Brimfield. And so we were at that graduation party yesterday. And she shows me this book, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I saw books. And I mean, we'll talk about physical media even once in a while. But she's a retired teacher. And my other aunt, Lisa, is a teacher in a town just west of here. It's called Andrews Osborne, which is it's like 50 to 80,000 pounds sterling a year for the students to go there. And she's an AP math teacher. But the other teacher, my other aunt, Nora, I'm talking about, she goes, well, if you find a book, What the Wind Tells, pick it up for me. I'm like, sure. I mean, if I see it, I'll keep my eye out on that title. Awesome. So she shows me some listings on Amazon, and they're $300 to $500. We'll just say 300 pounds sterling on Amazon for this book. And she was going about, and she was so affectionately talking about the story, and I was asking about the story and what's going on, and she's reciting the story to us 40 years after she first read it. People want that. I don't sell physical items. I sell nostalgia and memories that you can listen to over and over again, that you can watch over and over again, that you could read over and over again. What's going to happen, like this shirt, I don't even know what it reads. How about that? Kind of funny. Kind of. Press start. But something like this, if you get an old shirt or something, it's going to have its kind of intrinsic feel, that intrinsic emotion. It's going to have that for a short period. Well, if something you listen to, who's this, Luther? Yeah. So let's just say if you have this Luther thing, and 3 months later somebody says two words, and you're like, oh, that reminds me of Luther Vandross. You kind of get that feeling because maybe it was you and your spouse's first song you guys ever danced to. A shirt's not going to do that. I mean, I have a shirt. Well, not anymore, but I had an O'Neill shirt, like O'Neill Surf Company. And the very, very first day, I met, who's otherwise my wife, she's upstairs. Very, very first day. Meeting her. I sit down. She was in a bigger sectional. Maybe it's two different couches, but she was always over on this corner. She'd been kind of shy. So I pull a joint, doobie, weed, pull a marijuana cigarette. I pull one of those from my cigarette pack, which I don't smoke anymore. It's just these. I quit smoking a couple years ago. I quit drinking 6 years ago. But so I was like, hey, you want to smoke? I see the comments coming in. You want to smoke? I'm like, yeah. So we start smoking, and the cherry fell off, and it burned a hole in my O'Neill shirt. We held on to that shirt for a while, and I wore it a couple times, after that. But it just didn't have that same feel. Like, oh, yeah, I remember that. You play a song, or you watch a movie or a series, or you read part of a book, that will stay with you so much longer than a shirt and the feel that you get by putting a shirt on that brings back a very, very fleeting moment. Physical media is not that. So this is a lot of like a Pat Boone and the Boone family and stuff. But these right here, this is a quadraphonic. Quadraphonic going to have this notch. It is on the left side, although it's reversed for you. It's on the left side. But who do we have here? That's only like $10. Parliament Funkadelic. It's the old George Baker collection. I mean, these are things I'll find at a thrift store at a yard sale. This pink Led Zeppelin. This, I believe, is Michael Stanley. Allman Brothers. So, I mean, I buy 8-tracks too. So this is where you could say it's a dead format. It's not, they don't make them anymore. So it's a dead format, but it can still be played. I have a car 8-track player over here that I found in the trash. This Jimi Hendrix right here, I've had it for a while. This Free Spirit, very, very clean. Not in any format, not many of these out there. So someone who's going to want to have this as this format, they have the cassette version, they have the 3 different CD versions, they have the 45 single version, they have got this the larger LP version, but they want that whatever the reason, man, just pay me. You pay me, it gets shipped. Well, I mean, I do 8-tracks as well. So there's a 45 of Journey, the single whites. So I got, I don't remember. There's a video. I thought I had like a gold mine and I didn't. And I probably took out 80 of these 45s. I hand type everything. And anything that was like 12, 14 bucks or more I kept. I was like $40. I want to do 45s again, and they had to be in good condition. I can't repair these. I can repair CDs and DVDs. I have the brand is called JFJ. It's a resurfacer machine. It stands about yay big. So that's what I do. A lot of people are kind of befuddled. I don't want to quite say befuddled. They're like, what? What do you do? Oh, I go to thrift stores. I spend 25 to 30 hours a week of my time going to thrift stores, coming back home, getting pictures, listing stuff, putting stuff away, and then when it sells, that's 25, 30 hours a week for me. In the UK conversion, 25, 30 hours, right? It's and it's last year was 108,000. So for 90,000 pounds sterling last year for not even 30 hours a week. All the other stuff I sold before, I was a manager of a window and door company a couple miles up the road. And I had to do that for 50, 60 hours a week for about the same money, 90,000 pounds sterling. I mean, that tax year was like 118,000 or something, US dollars. But I've been selling for a long time, but I would sell all kinds of everything else but media. But I would have to spend 30 to 40 hours a week for 1/5 the amount of sales, to have always a bit of a stress, always a bit of a worry that somebody's going to get a digital camera or 35 millimeter camera or remote control or a pair of shoes or something, like, oh, the shoes don't fit, return. The remote doesn't work, return. The camera's broken, return. Oh, I'm going to return this whole lot of broken cameras because they're all broken, return. Physical media, so I got a return coming in that somebody's like, oh man, they got this. And you're like, oh, I didn't mean to order this. I ordered by mistake. So between the 3 verifications that you got to go through to order on eBay, you can even have it set up on your phone to where you get a text from eBay that says you ordered something. You get an email in your email stating that you ordered something from eBay. And in your eBay, you get an email stating that you ordered something. You're going to tell me out of all 6 of those, 9 days later, like, oh, I ordered one. I'm going to deduct you for shipping costs. Oh, that's fine. Aside of that, I almost never get returns on physical media. And it's so cheap. Oh yeah, it's someone here, W Curtin. So this is an old tablet. I have been buying filing cabinets. Oh yeah. Well, if you caught me in that, so that those things, I don't store stuff in there. That's that whole drawer of stuff that needs to be listed. So everything otherwise is in these here, and I stop at the thrift stores. So I have this set, another set right here. I don't know how well you can see. Another one right here. And then directly to the left below this is one of these, but minus these two tops. And I still have the other two tops out in storage. Then if you look at any of my lives when I'm taking stuff apart or putting books away, there's a standard wood bookshelf, and then there's bookshelves that are like this but deeper that are in there. And then a whole other one that's there. Then I've got a whole other two more sets that are out in the storage unit in the carport. And then these boxes, I've had these. I ordered these, years and years ago. Instead of me throwing them out or which have you. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping in, Curtin. But I mainly do CDs, so each of these boxes are maybe 20 pounds. Here we go again. 10 kilo. Each of these boxes, maybe, when they're full. And then DVDs are up here. This is all DVD. You can see, kind of empty. So when I go to start putting new listings away, I'll start up here, and I'll do the lowest numbers first. And by some point, if I need another box, I'll use one of the boxes at the very end, and I'll just take the last few that are toward the end, or I'll just take a box that has a few, put those remaining ones in a different box, and I'll have a new box or same box. And then I'll make sure I don't have like a 28, which I do. And then books are in the same boxes, but on those shelves. Now I've got a bookshelf down here, a wide bookshelf that holds like the coffee table books and the heavier books and things. But that's how I do it. I forget where I was even going. I will tangent off quite a bit. Oh, you know what? I never did look this up. Corn flakes. They're from Toledo, Ohio. $15 could be. There's 4 listed. I don't think any would have sold. Oh, one has $25. ICP Guar. I'll tell you what, this one played and then went through those songs pretty quick. ICP would be Insane Clown Posse. Well, a lot of times the first one that I'm playing, I'll keep right up here. That's charged. So someplace where I went a little more than a month ago, I jumped on Marketplace. I was just looking for other like real cheap. Some people, whatever the reason, I'll find something and someone's like, "Oh, I got a bunch of CDs and DVDs." I go there and I talk to the guy, and I pick up some boxes of CDs and DVDs, and I tell him, like, if I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to somebody like that, like going to a yard sale, like, hey, I also scrap whatever you have that's metal or e-waste, old VCRs, DVD players, laptops, computer, anything like that. I'll take it, but I'm only taking for free. If it's an older mid-90s computer, I'll pay a couple bucks for it. But aside of that, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, hold on." So he got this whole freaking box of like 60. I just sold one of the remotes for $50 the other day. Whole box of remotes, some old routers and internet routers and gateways and stuff. I just took apart a gateway the other day, and that had some really good boards. I'm not gonna drag that out because I've already stacked other boards on top of it. But in the bottom of that box of DVDs was this Double Dragon 2. With the sleeve. It doesn't have Nintendo on it. But just this game is like $50. Right? So it's just been sitting right here. It's kind of a background display piece. And these. Then I found this like I don't think it's if it is tin. Tin is worth a whole lot more than copper. It's not a whole lot on this, but I think it's an aluminum. Well, I just thought that was pretty cool. And then these are Type 2. And I've got a whole other drawer filled with all of the. Actually, no, it's right here. Oh, no, those other ones are open. The other ones are primarily Type 2 open. And I've yet to even put that up on them. I mean, I don't get much for the auction, but I've got a bunch of other Type 2s and a couple Type 4s. Type 4 cassettes open. Sealed, they're going to be like $40, $50 minimum. 40 quid, if you will, for a Type 4 minimum. These are Type 2s. Each of these is probably like 20 bucks. These are the better ones. And I had them in other videos like this stacked right here. But they're just hanging out right there. And then after a while, you just get a small collection of them and you put them up and someone will buy them. But they're just hanging out right there as decoration for now. Go get my other thing that needs charged. My other brick. Oh. So, Tango, when I heard your voice in that stream, you definitely sound like you're not of the younger crowd. Just by your voice. So this is like the primarily my work area, and literally right there, this is a small apartment, or how about this, a flat? Except for this is like a townhouse built. There's stairs right. Where's my hand at? Right here. The wall for the stairs. Real small flat. Oh, okay. So you know the band King Crimson? So this is a real small area. So right over here is my couch. Right in front of that is a big coffee table. Maybe a meter deep, maybe a meter and a half wide. Essentially, probably just over 3 feet, and maybe 4 feet that way. Then it's a mess, right? There's not a whole lot of place in here at all. If you have stuff in these places like this, if you're well organized, it's still a lot of stuff in the way. So I try to. It's a clean disorganization. But I just have this little tabletop right there, and I just take pictures. I'm sitting there on my couch, and I just take a picture of the CDs and DVDs and VHS. And those go in a box, and then that box gets put over here to the side, and then sometime, whenever, like, all right, I got 80 CDs that need put away, I'll start a live, and I'll start putting the CDs away. That's my work. This is my work area. I mean, I am that same number too, as well. July is when I can say I got to make a different crooked number after the 4. But King Crimson, I have this. Somewhere. Well, I mean, no one took it, but the King Crimson 2-disc set that they had a concert at a university up in New York, like Buffalo or something, University of Buffalo, like their Arts and Performing Center in December of 2001, King Crimson. And it was recorded on a Fostex. Matter of fact, I think you're the one I was talking about, Fostex. You're writing something about Ampex or something like that. I was like, oh, like Fostex or Tascam or something. I think I was like a Fostex. I think that was you. This was months ago on Motors Chat. But yeah, that was recorded on not this, not what's playing. You could probably barely hear this. But that CD, yeah, it's 100 minutes, and he talks like there's probably 5 minutes of lyrics, and those 5 minutes he talks about aliens and being abducted and alien and stuff. I'm like, what? But it hits hard. It's heavy, and these are just Sony like 200 series Kevlar cone speakers. And all my equipment I have, I just bought at thrift stores. It's a Nakamichi amp, a Denon 5-disc CD player, and there's a T-Hawk 10-band EQ, which I haven't bothered hooking that up, and a Yamaha dual cassette player, which I just use that when I got like 10 cassettes. Then I'll put all those one at a time. I'll put those in and listen to see if it pitches up and down, see if it comes back wobbly or whichever. But almost 2 hours. So a typical video of me sourcing, I would have like the phone right here. Sometimes I would screen record this of me looking stuff up, then I would overlay that in a video. So you'd have to go back to settle videos, and you'll see like the eBay app on the video. So it's all kind of lines up with my speech exactly how I made that. But a Windows update, recent update, is sending a bad code to the entire motherboard and is in like a restart loop. I wrote that in Motors chat the other day too. But that's usually how I do it, and then I would edit all that down, and it'd only be like maybe 20-minute video. But I said a while ago that going live, although this takes up just as much time if I'm doing this, especially if I'm conversing, that if I wanted to do a video and had to edit, the video could record for 30 minutes, and I come back, and you got to watch all 30 minutes to make sure it's edited right. And you want to put in, I'll put in a little bit of music in the beginning, and whatever music I use, a free music, then I'll save the end of that music for the right tunes for the very end, the right sound at the end. And there's a lot of chopping. Sometimes I want to find a screenshot for something to add that in. So a 30-minute recorded video, you could spend easily, well, you do your own videos, you could spend easily. And you can see on how basic format this is. I could, for a 30-minute video that's going to be 20 minutes, it's an hour and a half. Because you're rewatching it, editing, posting, and all that other. No, I'm not being paid by YouTube yet. So, and even at that, it's going to be pittance. But this, like, YouTube is a long game. It's like you can either start it and get your subscriber count way high early, and you can make money that way and keep getting subs, or something like me where I just do this, just kind of inform people, help people a little bit with physical media. It's a long game thing. The videos that can be and will be monetized at some time. 20 years from now, those videos, XYZ video, would have made me $1,000, but there's $400 or $500. It's like the same from Office Space. Just get those little fractions from a whole bunch of little things, and it adds up. I'll bet you if you wanted to make $1 million, £1 million, if you go ask 1 million people for £1, it's probably easier to do that than go ask one person for $1 million. So you're just taking that little bit. And yeah, it'd be nice to not live here in this apartment, although they haven't raised the rent in 4 years. That's part of the reason why we're staying. And then all the other stuff. There's other things that need to be taken care of. So I think I watched. I didn't see it, and I want to say it's yours. A little waterfront apartment thing, because I know I watched one when you were building. You went premiere with it. So my question is, is that premiere? Is that you like your first run at it, and it's non-edited, and then you're like, you know what? I'll just make this premiere, or is that like that premiere one? Is that just raw, and then you're like, I'm just going to tie all these together? Or do you cut the little segments down? I mean, everyone does theirs. Yeah, editing, I just use Clipchamp. And editing it with that, I mean, people are like, oh, get the OBS app. That way you can do like a mirror when you're live, so people can read the titles and they're not backwards, I just tell them, like, put a mirror right there and read off the mirror. But yeah, editing. I had this. I don't want to say like high hope, but it is. I don't want to say disparaging either. But it's disparaging is like there's a lot of resellers out there, and there's a lot of channels that do very very well. But this takes me back to theatrics. If you're a well seasoned reseller, you can catch the bullshit real fast. You can catch their theatrics. You could catch that they're making shit up just to have that in the video. You could read that by watching it real quick. And people jump on that. I was like, I'm here trying to, yeah, a lot of it's basic stuff, but if I could say is like I spend 25, 30 hours a week for 100K in gross sales a month or a year on eBay, why wouldn't more people be like, oh, dude, how do you do it? What do you look for? What is this? What is that? So after a while, I was just like, the growth rate is just way too slow for me to really want to dedicate a lot of time in it. Now, that guy, Ramsey, and I found you to flip, he spends a lot of time on his videos. He does shorts every day, and then he'll make a long form video for Sunday, which is not like heavily edited, but he puts little onomatopoeias and stuff in it. The best you would get, let's just say if this was in a video like, oh, $80. And then I'll put like $80 on like a little image over, but I'm not going to be like completely black this out to where it's going to be mystery. Like, oh, you have to watch the video to find out what it is. No, it's going to be $80 and I'll point to that. And that, be honest. Oh, that's bad marketing. No, it's called truthful. I'm not trying to bait you into something. And you're also a builder too, so you have a feeling of the little idiosyncrasies of not to do something like this because it's going to be. There are a lot of things. Who is that? Great Grandpa Gamer. I don't know if you saw his Killer Clowns from Outer Space thing, but I mentioned that when him and Mulder did that build at Starlight over the little pond thing. And then, this kind of gives me, it would be a weird kind of Halloween type Killer Clowns. But then he made that one thing that was out of the gumdrops from Nuka World. It was made out of the gumdrops. And I was like, that's like a droopy gumdrop Fu Manchu. It kind of reminds me of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I wrote something like that in Sean's channel. And GGG was like, I got you. And then nothing but 4 hours later, he comes back with the tent that looks like part, a Fallout, the stuff that you have from Fallout. Yeah, he said something kind of goofy in one video. It was just off the cuff, just out of nowhere. I'm like, what? I think I'm subbed to his too. I mean, I don't watch all of your guys' videos. I'll jump on Sean's. I'll watch a couple. I watched something from Lindsay when she was up in the co-op. And then I just watched that one with the Fallout Productions that had Lindsay and Sean and two other channels in it. They went to Abernathy, and that little I'm just gonna say kind of like the Red Dead, the Western style going down that hill. Oh, that's almost perfect imagination for what that to be used for. That was great. I listened to maybe first 5 minutes. The guy on the Giddy Up came up to Sean when he was working on the other Giddy Up, and there was a power armor right behind him. And then I got to doing something else, and then I just let it play through just so it'll get to runtime. But some of those things, just the story arcs that people come up with for some of these things, I have a vivid imagination, yeah, but I don't have the aptitude nor the patience for the build. I mean, I see Sean. He was doing something there at home plate. Dude, he jumped down from that loft area like 15 times. I was like, dude, I would have jumped down twice and been done. Like, no, I'm not doing this. And he just keeps doing it like it's as regular as breathing. He's like, oh, oh, missed that. Oh, no, messed that one up. And then I caught. Then when I went in there, I was like, are you trying to make this like a to be a competition to um, Valentine and have your own little detective agency up here? Because that's what it was kind of looking like that Art Deco type. So Detour, if you look at my icon for my YouTube, Detour made that. I told him, I was like, hey, I want Art Deco with cyberpunk and one human, one man with a head looking in one direction, looking the other direction, one holding physical media, the other one holding money. And he came up with like 3 renditions. I was like, yep, I'll use that one. And then my nephew, who just graduated from Baldwin Wallace College, not too far from here, uh, his degree is in graphic design. So I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, oh, yeah, just send me some words and some ideas, a couple of the other things that other guys used. And because I'll come up with something for you. Like, cool. Like, I mean, it's not going to be registered design. So, I mean, I'm not too pressed if it's not 100% accurate. Oh, Panda. Yeah, because Panda tells stories. I've watched quite a few of his just because of the story narration. I guess if you're given 100 tools and someone tells you do whatever you want with it, but make something creative, he's one of those people. Like it was like, can I tell stories? Yep. Can I make my own characters? Yep. Can I make it look like however I want? Yep. That's Panda. It's like he just goes crazy with the story narrations. And I think he had one that had like an APV and a personnel carrier vehicle. I think it started at Covenant. Then he ended up at 10 Pines. Like he just walked into the vehicle and pushed go, and then he edited it when he was at 10 Pines or something. And even I was always one of those. I didn't really watch people who did the mods. Like that's not. It's not the vanilla part. And then I start watching some more videos that have a lot of the mods in there, the mod stuff. I'm like, there's some really, really interesting mods that people come up with. Yeah, I've watched a couple Dave the Legend, and then the other one I watch, not like a lot, but is Diamond Dave. He does the place anywhere thing, and he just cleans up the little areas. And Shazu, I mean, I started watching Shazu years ago. Shazo or whichever. I mean, his dad passed. His grandparents owned the lighthouse that was used in the movie Pearl Harbor, and amongst a couple other things. So he's got an interesting name. There's another one I used to watch. Uh, Squeezy, Orange Squeezy. Lady Empertrix, whatever her name is. Um, this was years and years and years ago. Probably even before we lived up here. And some of the just on how you can flip and turn, make something kind of upside down and rotate. Some of the things that Sean does with the signs and the little light cubes and the logic gates and stuff. Just and those mortars, those color mortar things, those are interesting. But um, I got you. Yeah, Squeezy. Um, Was that the one? Was Swayze the one who did that Cyberpunk Hangman? That was like one. I watched Shawzu a couple years ago, a handful of years ago, and then YouTube recommended that Cyberpunk one. I'm like, holy, that's a lot of detail. That one was absolutely. I would say of all the builds that I've watched that come to memory, that's probably the one that just lives long in my brain because just the absolute, and then the sound, the constant like shing 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 shing, like the well done, well done. And yeah, they would put like total hours spent or whichever. I think that was like 1,000 hours build time. Just every little nook and cranny. Just something, all the bright colors. It's just phenomenal. And that lady Imprex, she did a really, really interesting one. She did like a pink flamingo cellar or something at Tathington. But both of those are storytellers. Like they'll piece things together in stories. So I mean, those who can't watch, like I can't build. I mean, I don't have that type of patience for that. Yeah. I mean, I have. What do I got? Uh, I mean, that's what I'm. I mean, that's out of the computer, so I can get to everything else to like take the CMOS out. But that's just a 2070 Super. And then I've got. I don't know. I think the other one's like a 790. Got another loose graphics card around here too. And then the CPU is an i7 3200 or something. And then um, this RAM, this is a 16 gig stick, so I got 64 gigs of RAM in there. This is one of four, obviously. Yeah, 16 gig, 1600 clock 9. And still, for some reason, Facebook takes forever to load up, right? When everything's all hooked up. But this, I got this computer, and then the RAM. I bought the RAM. It's about the fastest RAM that I could take without it being bottlenecked by the CPU. I paid like $100. No, I think it was like $80 for this RAM. Some guy put it. He had it listed like 50% off on the clip. Buy it now. And this graphics card came with it. Came with the CPU or came with the computer. So as soon as I fix whatever that BIOS update that it needs or whatever it may be, whatever, if that fixes it, then I can put everything back in. Moving. Couple small SSD hard drives. But most people come here when I'm live or in videos for physical media stuff. Now I've meandered away from that quite a bit. But I mean, I have a Fallout shirt. I have one with thumbs up guy. And I mean, other channels I watch Fallout related is Nort. Is one. Trapped in Fallout. Mo, he's always good for like little oddball things. Like I had no idea there was that one in the state house. Like you have to use a jetpack to get in a small room. Juiced. I watched Oxhorn a little bit. I don't watch him that much more, but I mean, I'll watch a lot of this stuff because it's a big franchise. It's like if I was into, if I was more of a GTA fan, you know, there was a lot of GTA channels out there. But it just went from 3 to 7. All right, come on, people. I'll stick around if people are here writing stuff. Then I have my other motherboard from the computer I had before. Someone's coming down. Rad King, yes. I want to say his name is Josh. Goes the very beginning of that. I asked like years ago. I was like, "What does he say? What's said at the very beginning?" Because he can hear. Goes. I don't know what it is in German, but someone responded with, "It's a countdown, 3, 2, 1 in German." I was like, "Well, that kind of makes sense." Soy. Hold on a minute. Yeah, Rat King. I like watching Rat King. Um, Soy Boy, about physical media or about scrapping? Or about computer parts? Because that's what I was just showing was computer stuff. Scrapping isn't really a whole lot for me to really talk about. That's just more hobby. But to make it easier, assuming that you're U.S. based, last year was 108,000 gross for on average is 25, 30 hours a week. For me to go into the stores, come back, kind of organize for pictures, get pictures, look stuff up, list stuff, put stuff away. And when it sells, get the stuff packaged and put it out is 25, 30 hours a week. For last year was 108K. Yeah, the scrapping part, that's all. Like I was saying way earlier now in this stream, that got a hookup around the corner for, and I have a whole bunch right here. I'll grab a few more. All right, so these are flat screen monitors for ultrasound machines. So this is going to be steel right here, but a lot of this frame, not the outside, but a lot of the frame is aluminum, and the boards on there. There's probably $10 of circuit boards that's in there, and of what's on the patio right now, there's maybe 20 of this size, maybe about 10 of this size, and then maybe 10 of a whole other different size that's all aluminum frame. And those ones are like 6 pounds of aluminum, assuming you're US, so 6 pounds of aluminum. Other than that, under 3 kilograms of aluminum. And aluminum is 50 cents a pound. So 40, we'll go, I'm not going to do all the upping math. Let's just say you're US, right? So something like this would take me maybe 15 minutes to take part. Get these out of the way. On top of all the other stuff I get. So this company right around the corner, half mile from me, half a kilometer, less than that, third a kilometer. It was like, yeah, whatever's in there, get it. And then on the circuit boards, and there's better circuit boards. I just brought some that had like big IC chips, little tantalum capacitors and stuff on them. So I just started scrapping this year. But for physical media, on top of all the other stuff, I got some iPods over here that parts not working, $100 each. Parts not working. All kinds of stuff. Just find. No, I mean, you're probably going to find about 2% of stuff that I found so far is like worthy enough to be listed and sold. But I mean, I don't go by the hour. My payout for this week, which rest of today, it's probably gonna, after shipping, it's probably gonna be under 1,000. So that's I try to have my payouts be. I can't control everything. I can control how much I list. I haven't done a whole lot of listing of late, mainly because of the scrapping and getting the quantity. And I'm one of those people who's like, oh, I got all this stuff. It's going to sit there for 3 years. No, I got that stuff. I'm going to, today and tomorrow, 90% of that stuff is going to be taken apart. and done. Now it leaves me the rest of the week to do what I need to for eBay and go out and get stuff. But I work probably 25, 30 hours a week eBay time, and my payouts after shipping and fees is anywhere from 900 to 1300 a week. Pound sterling 750 to just over 1,000 a week. So it's modest, and a lot of that also will depend on where you live. People are like, well, someone commented before in a different video, like, yeah, I mean that's oh no, it was on a Facebook post. I posted something on somebody else's channel or somebody else's Facebook. I'm like, yeah, that's good, but I mean, if you live in Houston, I think they wrote Houston. He goes, I live in Houston, and that what 1 week is the weekly expense. There's no room for growth. That's what you're making. So if I'm netting my eBay payouts are, let's just say 4,000 or more a month, the payouts. So net minus everything else, not including everything else, I should say. That's not going to fly in Manhattan. By all means, it's $1,000 a day just to fucking live in Manhattan, right? That's exaggerating, but it's expensive. But up here where I'm at, Northeast Ohio, it's modest enough. But I mean, I know if I were to double my time, eBay time, uh, just logistically, you'd figure that sales would double. But it's like someone who's at that age that they could retire. I'm not, but who's at that age that they could retire, but they choose not to. But they stay with the company so they can keep feeding into their benefits and their retirement and stuff. But they're one of those people who just kind of walks around and will pick up somebody's styrofoam cup and throw it away. They just kind of walk around, just do the easy things and get paid for it. That's the same kind of principles. Like I'm just doing easier work for not a whole lot of 40, 50 hours. It's half that time frame. So I don't have a whole lot of work. And then I picked up scrapping earlier this year. Oh, I bet. I mean, I know London is expensive, like straight up. Um, by the Thames. I mean, the Thames River is a long river, but I mean, right up there in central London, where the confluence is. I don't want to know even the. I mean, an average. I can't even say average. You can go on Zillow if you want to find out exactly, but probably an average. We'll just go with an apartment on one of those sky rises is probably 30,000 a month. I mean, I don't even have to convert U.S. dollars or pound sterling for that. It's 30,000 a month to live there. It's 1,100 a month where I'm at. Big difference. Big. Big. Get to the chopper. Yeah, I guess if you live in a high rise, you can get to the chopper. Oh, soy. Okay. I think you commented, you came in one of my live streams like a month ago. A kilo, 2.2 pounds. And you're selling, get copper melts. Okay, I gotcha. I don't remember. If you did, I'm trying to remember. Um, I don't I don't remember. The name is ringing. I mean, it may not have been you, but if you're like Derek, I mean, how are you going to forget somebody by the name of Soy Boy? Soy Boy. But that is ringing a bell. I don't remember. I'm not going to sit here and burn time trying to remember that. But I am going to end up taking some of these monitors apart in a live. Actually, I was supposed to have ended this live like half an hour ago. I mean, I'm on no time schedule, right? My wife's upstairs, daughter's upstairs. If they want to come down, I'll just do this, and they just walk by. But I got to get some of these monitors apart. There's a whole other bin that has some miscellaneous things, like these huge. So they're aluminum heat sinks, like cooling sinks, is what they are. So as an attachment, they have fluid go through it, and then the hot fluid goes on and circulates. Kind of has a little spiral inside, and it circulates through the spiral inside this aluminum chunk to cool that fluid, and the heat will dissipate through the aluminum, and they're like this big, hollow aluminum, but they're probably like 2 pounds. Got them from this ultrasound place. So, and then we went out yesterday, and we just hit these little businesses right around where I live at, where I have permission to go on the property. And strangely enough, my daughter's boyfriend and myself were unloading, going in here, and 2 police cruisers come rolling up. Now, keep in mind, last weekend I had a police cruiser roll up and come up to me like, "Hey, Derek." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. How you doing?" "I'm still breathing." And he tells me about a business around the corner where I have yet to talk to the owner. And he's like, "Yeah, he got you there on his camera, and he says you're not in trouble. You didn't take anything, but he just doesn't want you on the property because other people have stolen stuff." So I thought this weekend, yesterday, when the 2 cruisers come rolling up, we're going to tell me the same thing, which they weren't. They were here for somebody else, for something. Well, they're here for something else. They didn't do anything with anybody. And well, I'm like, really? I went to all the places where I know I've talked to the owners or the department managers or whichever. They're like, "Yeah, go ahead." The ones who say no, I don't bother, because I have this hookup for all these. That's the big thing, is like, if I can go someplace right around here and get a whole bunch of stuff I could take apart, and then just hit these little businesses around the corner and get some cans, little pieces of copper, this and that, then why would I take my chance and go into different places where the people don't want me at? That doesn't compute. Oh, that must not compute with you. Star Trek. That doesn't compute. I've got to go. Yeah, Tango, and I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I'll be doing taking these apart. It's 1:40 p.m. right now. Comes another train, and then probably like 3 o'clock, roughly my time. I can do that. All right. So who's ever here? Appreciate for stopping in. All right, Tango, Ian. Um, this is the physical media stuff. The very beginning, I was going over what I bought past few days. Nothing spectacular. I got to change the title because it isn't quite 2000. And then in a little more than an hour, I'm going to go live taking stuff apart. So if you're into scrapping or micro scrapping and taking electronics apart, that's what I'll be doing next. So anyone who's here, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Every word I said